builds in this matchup.
Okay, our game's loaded up. This is game one, Impact versus Super.
Team LP, Impact. Super.
Pretty conservative opening from Super here. Not going to try for a hatch block or anything like that. He's going to get his economy rolling.
I'm still riding the wave of that TY game. That was so incredible.
That series was really cool.
Yeah, that was a really awesome TVT to have there.
Now, this looks like it's going to be a hatch block.
Yeah, it appears to be that. Oh. I think, yeah, he is going to come in there with the hatch in a little bit. By the way, guys, thanks for staying so late with us, those of you in the studio. I know it's very, very much later than normal here. We might even be going to midnight before these casts are done.
Yeah, definitely could be if we get some long games in there. Don't know how long the rest of these games will be, though, to be honest.
You're right, they might be quite short.
Yeah.
TVT just has the ability to go into an incredibly long and drawn-out game.
All right, so the fourth probe comes down. The standard right now to deal with this, from what I've seen, is really 4 probes and a Zealot to deal with the hatchery so it doesn't finish. I think you generally don't want to let this hatchery finish as the Protoss player. I've really liked it went for the Zerg when they get to finish it, right?
Right.
Because it blocks it for so long, and then oftentimes you're going to get some lings in because you have some larvae.
There's more of a headache to try to deal with. Now here comes the third hatchery for Impact. Yeah. So Impact attempting to delay Super here.
Yeah, and I think that what Super's doing, this is actually, I think, again, the best way to deal with this, because when they do this, they're going to be a little bit slower on things like speed. So 2 Adepts chrono boosted out, if you micro them very well, like, you can either force a lot of lings or maybe get some drones.
Oh, dude.
You know?
Another hatch comes down here.
Yeah, that's nice.
That is annoying. So he has to once again send 4 probes total. Try to hit that. Now these Adepts, how is Zerg going to handle this?
Well, they can kill all those lings.
Yeah.
That is not a question. They absolutely can, so let's see what his micro looks like. I feel like it's a little bit sloppy so far. Just got to rotate that one to the back a little bit better. Yeah, he's taking way too much damage on that one Adept.
Oh, man, and this can't shade out in time.
He has 2 more on the way. So he gets another shot at this. And that was pretty good defense overall from Impact. Speed still just halfway done.
All right, the Adepts are just out of range here of this hatchery. He's going to try to once more shade in here. Bumpy game to start things off for Super.
Yeah, it's not going super well.
Whoa, I see what you did there. I don't even think you meant to do that, Artosis.
No, definitely did not.
Yeah.
Super's just a great adjective. I've loved it since I was a child.
I heard that word. I said I never need a thesaurus.
Yeah.
This one's the one I want. So he's going to go into Glaives now.
Mm-hmm. A very aggro build here. But Impact sees that blinking, and as soon as you see that blinking, I think you're pretty aware that this is most likely going to be Glaives. Now, there's all sorts of different ways you can go Glaives. You can go like a 3-gate Glaives pressure.
Sure.
You can go, obviously, for like a 7 or 8-gate ridiculous Glaives build. You can do it with Prism or without at that point. Third Nexus coming up, so it seems like this is just going to be a pressure.
And we were talking about this a little bit earlier, that Super seems to be pretty inclined to go into standard games.
Yeah, and well, this one is like, obviously it's been a little bit weird from the hatch block and everything, and then, you know, he got the Adepts out quickly and do as much as he wanted, but he is really threatening the possibility of a lot of damage here, and that's not happening. Did he actually see the third Nexus? No, he did not. Okay, so they actually caught the Ling in time. That's kind of important, I think. Because here, I think, as Impact, without any doubt, you have to make some roaches and be careful about a depth shading in.
Right.
But I guess he did see a couple sentries standing in a funny place when the Ling came up. So he might think, oh, okay, this is looking more like an expansion.
And so those glaives are just now going to finish. Here come those Lings up to where this third is. Let's see if he's actually paying attention. Okay, so no force fields at all. Is this basically just open? Yes, it is. All right.
It's more than just basically open.
Yeah.
It's just
actually
straight
wide
up
open.
open.
Yeah. It's like the garage door's open, the windows are all open.
Yeah. Ooh,
okay, well, this is sort
damage.
of not something you normally want to factor in as something that can happen in a game like this. You kind of want to be sealed up airtight.
Yeah.
And so this is... What's the proper word? Sucky?
Yeah,
Not good?
it's a little bit sucky.
Yeah. This is bad.
It's a good word. We don't use that enough in cast.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, oh, that's just sucky.
Okay, so the Spire's coming down now. Now here comes the War Prism. It's about to pop out.
Yeah, plenty of roaches out right now, so I don't feel like there's any real potential for damage. And with the Spire coming up, I think that's a great continuation of this tech. Second Robo, look at that.
Wow. So Glaives into double Robo.
Yeah, well, I think he figures, you're going to go for lots of roaches. But now that he scouts the Spire, right, that's a really, really big deal. Do you stay on that Robo? Okay, Stargate coming up. How heavily do you commit to that?
I don't know.
I almost... but I'm not a super fan of Blink Stalkers against this, but you already have the Twilight and you already have a second Robo on the way that you don't want to cancel. Maybe that's a situation in which you start pressuring and get into Blink, just in case. But he's going... So now he's going to have double Robo, double Stargate.
This is weird build.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Double Robo, double Stargate.
Here's what I'm confused about. I feel like, first of all, Ling Roach, Muta can start to beat this before this tech even comes into play. For the Protoss.
What, the Stargates?
Yeah. Like, we don't even have a Phoenix out yet. It just started. The Mutas are about to hatch. Can't they just fly in here and start to kill everything anyways?
I think if you make a shield battery in every mineral line, you'll be all right, and then you start chasing the Mutas back pretty quickly. Because if you micro heavily, even one Phoenix, you can kind of keep alive against
It'll
the
eventually
group.
win that fight.
Yeah, like, there's counter micro with Mutas where you run and then you get on top of it and you moving shot and stuff, but... I don't think that these Mutas are going to do a lot of damage right now, but just forcing him to get into this kind of more turtled position is all right. Right? He's like sitting here making 2 Stargate Phoenix. You don't have to make more Mutas than this.
Okay, well now this is getting a little bit awkward because these Mutas are sort of stuck over here. And this is Impact kind of... This was all for nothing, everybody.
Well... Those did even less than expected, actually.
Yeah, that was terrible. But is he going to be ready for this attack up here? I mean, how many Immortals are actually in play? There's 2 coming out at a time, but I only see 1 moving in between the 2 locations. And, if you can isolate that 1 Immortal and just pick it off, by the way, we have Glaives actually connecting with the army.
Yeah, it comes up, but like you said, 1 Immortal, this is pretty tough. Those sentries taking huge amounts of damage as well.
He decided to cast Force Fields in such a way that he built an ant farm. So there's that. He built an ant farm out of that. Okay, so he's just going to kill this in a game where nothing means anything. All right.
Yeah, just smashing through.
Don't try this build at home, kids.
Yeah, no,
this is not a thing.
It didn't make a lot of sense. It just, the pieces didn't fit together. Super was trying to do hard counters against everything rather than have a strong tech root with softer counters, right? Like, for instance, with the second Robo coming out, this is why I suggested maybe going into Blink, right? Because then at least you're just spending all your money on ground units, and you have a cohesive army.
Right.
Here he's like, well, I have 2 Robos, 1 Immortal, 5 Phoenixes. All right. Am I able to hold anything? It's like, yeah, you hold the Mutas. Anything else? No, not really.
New Repugnancy for map number 2. Super, I think there were some neat ideas with that build, but, ultimately... He was just completely out build ordered.
I like some of his early game stuff, though. He gets his Glaives scouted and then just kind of skips it. I can get on board with that.
Let's go to game number 2. Let's load it up now.
Team LP, Impact. Super.
Okay.
A little bit of aggression to open up here.
So we now want to watch and see what direction Super wants to take this game into. Again, remember, guys, Morrow is waiting in the final match for the victor of these two, so...
Yeah, it's a tough final match.
Yeah. Not an easy fight to have.
So he gets up here in scouts. He says it's going to be an aggressive play, so he's going to have to stay on one base for a little bit here. It'll be interesting to see what his counter is against this. Oh, he goes next straight up. Okay. So deciding that this is not really the biggest deal.
Yeah, unfazed by this.
Mm-hmm.
Core afterwards.
It's all right.
Ellings are already being made.
I want to see exactly what this is going to look like, because when Impact gets there and sees the timing of the core, he instantly knows that there's a Nexus behind it.
Yeah.
Is he going to be able to bust this straight up with this build? I mean, I don't think so, but definitely can put the pressure on, no doubt.
So we have Lings continuing to come out here. And is he just going to stop at this point in time? There's the one Adept being, chrono boosted out. And from here, Super actually techs into a Robo. That's what we were waiting to see here. Is what is a tech choice post Cybernetics core?
Now, if this Adept goes across the map, then I think that that's really terribly bad. Okay, meeting up to save the probe is good, though. That's good. That's good.
He's pulled a decent number of Zerglings just up here at the top, and he's not stopping with making Lings.
He needs to finish his wall. Like,
yeah.
Are you? This is. He opened up.
I'm seriously getting nervous. Yeah.
I think that he actually might get busted at this point. We're not seeing chrono boosts on the gate. We're not seeing a shield battery. It's kind of a late additional gateway on here. This is so many Zerglings being made. It is so many.
He sees the Robo.
And the
oh my God, the Stalker!
Main.
It got baited.
What? What am I looking at? What's this build?
Okay.
What is that?
You know, we were a little bit perplexed when we saw this opening and the way this was played here by Super, but he's now inside. Now this is where you're trying to sandbag this as much as possible, but Lings are just continuing to spill through here.
I want to see a right click on that core.
Keep in mind, yeah, I mean, if he stopped the warp gate,
right?
Come on.
Not just the warp gate, but you're only making Zealots at that point too.
Now he's went back to making drones behind this, although the feng shui of the Protoss' entrance is completely off.
Yeah, no, he's got no positive flow there, no flow at all.
There's no flow. So is he gonna? Looks like he's flirting with the idea of attacking back, and I think he just wants to see what else is going on here. Was anything canceled, or is he trying to destroy that
I feel like this
entrance?
This game is a game of half measures.
Now, I feel like Super has already been thrown off pretty heavily at the start of this game. Again, there was just a few decisions that he made there, like when he decided to chase down the Overlord there. I'm like, oh, I don't know about this, man.
You know what? If he just adds some gates and does his push, don't forget that the economy is just a little bit behind here for Impact. He's already got kind of a full wall, so counterattacks are not going to be quite as strong. I think that there's some potential here for him.
3 more gates coming. As the Hallucinated Phoenix comes through here to scout and see exactly what's going on. We still got to wait and see if he's going to actually elevator all the units out of there.
Yeah.
Okay, no, he's just going to tear down the pylon.
I would actually prefer the elevatoring. I really, really would.
Oh! Look at that. Okay, you can see he was thinking, oh my God, if I could just actually get in. All right, so he's going to come out now. Now he needs to clog this entrance, by the way, if the push is going to come.
11 roaches on the way. He's got a lot of gates finishing up here. Third Immortal coming out.
Okay, let's see if he...
Oh, what? Oh, that was a mistake.
Yeah, he just got supply block there now, which is really bad when a timing attack is coming. The Lings are getting ready for the counterattack here. He's plugged the hole with one Zealot. We have Ravagers coming down here as well. Let's keep in mind the force fields are a little bit wonky the last game. So we'll
forcing
see.
some warpins here at home as well.
But, you know, even getting this pylon here.
Yeah.
It's kind of a very weird spot to even put that pylon to begin with. I don't know why you put that on the outside of your wall in.
It's so you can warp in outside your wall and move quickly, but he's got a prism, so I'm not...
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, he's coming through now. It's 2 Immortals in this group here, not more Warpins coming. It looks like the Warp Prism is a little bit far away. It can't be shot out by Corrosive Vials just yet. The Immortals have been juggled in, but to the back of the fight.
Yeah, he's got a lot of Zealots. The Zealot Warpin was really good against those Zerglings.
Yeah, that was beautifully done.
The Vials have been nice, though. More Stalkers coming in to help deal with these Ravagers.
And continuing to try to spray this down. He's getting close enough that he might be able to hit the Warp Prism, but as this army thins out, he decides to back up. Ling's beginning to come in here, making more of a headache for the Stalkers and the Immortals.
Super's starting to push it back quite heavily. Oh, a very nice move there by Super, getting right up on top of these Ravagers now.
Oh my god, so did he just push all the way through here?
It does look like it, yeah.
Seems
the production is just not enough.
GG.
Yeah.
Super.
It was kind of a weird game with the early pull and gas. Didn't really do all the aggression, and Super did not skimp on anything really in his build. I don't know. It felt weird, like Impact made some sort of mistake there. It's like he was going for an aggressive build and then just didn't do it all the way. Decided it wasn't going to work and tried to transition, and it was like too middle of the road for what he opened with.
Yeah. And again, losing that Overlord right as the timing attack comes out. I mean, it's the one moment you just can't. You never want to lose him, but I mean that was really bad. Okay, so some bumpy games here in the losers match. Again, these players are fighting for the privilege, excuse me, to play against Morrow in the final match here. Our game is now loading up. One of these 2 players is about to be eliminated from the GSL Code S. Let's go.
Fight.
What is he saying in the lyrics? Leave your message at the Toad? Is that what he's saying?
Definitely.
Team LP.
Yeah. Well,
Impact.
that would only make sense, right?
Yeah. Toad is slang for answering machine anyways. Everyone knows that.
Super.
All right, the probe now coming across the map. We have more ordinary builds coming out from Impact this time as well. Just getting his hatch up here. I do feel like there were points in time where Impact could have done a lot more in that game, but I don't know. There were so many weird moments back there.
Yeah. Felt a little bit weird. I felt like he had more potential with the Ling kind of bust. You start to bust and then you don't, and it like, what did you really do there? Oh, he made some more pylons and gateways, which he's going to use because he's all-inning you anyways?
Yeah, he was going to get that no matter what, so it wasn't like you threw him off there.
Not too much, at least. Oh, he wants to get some sentries to make sure your bust is harder to get through? Yeah, he needs those. Okay. Anyways, Cyber Forest.
My favorite kind of forest.
Yeah. It's the
kind of forest with good Wi-Fi, you know.
It's always important. Definitely want to be looking at your phone while you're in the forest. And not paying for the data, that's important too.
Yeah. You can see he's trying to do a little bit of worker harass there by interrupting the mining patterns, which makes the drones ping-pong around to the other mineral patches. We have another Adept coming out. And again, this is a very different opening from the other 2 openings that Impact did. In the other game, he did an offensive hatchery to block the Nexus from coming down. And in game 2, he went for a very quick Zergling rush, an attempt to dismantle the entrance there.
Now, this is a super fast robo, so quite clearly we're going to be going for an Immortal push. At least that's most likely what's going to occur.
It appears to be going that way.
Overlord just flying right up into the main base for Impact, so he might end up losing that, but seeing the robo is really, really valuable.
And I don't think Super's going to try to shift gears even if it's spotted. I think he's just going to go for it.
There are a lot of ways you can shift gears, and if the Zerg overreacts, then suddenly you're ahead because they're really preparing for an all-in that may not come.
True, but Super always strikes me as a guy that sort of had to build it to start the game out and just kind of goes with it. But maybe he does mix it up. There's a Warp Prism coming down now.
All right, pretty standard right now. Actually, that Overlord did not end up dying, but he can finish it off with the Prism. The other Overlord retreating. I like it. See that the wall is a bit off. Having to put that second pylon there is not normally something that you plan for.
So if this is going to be a time and attack, we want to see how many gates are going to be thrown down and when that actually happens.
Yeah.
A lot of this for the Zerg is not so much a guessing game, but you're trying to gather as much intel as possible and get a read in any way they can on when the Protoss is giving up on probes, or if they're even going to do the time and attack, I should say.
Yeah.
But trying to just get an idea of when the attack's going to come, having the right tools there to actually hold the attack off, and then getting back on their feet and droning up and winning in a macro game.
Yeah. What do you think of this observer that he made? That's not the most common thing to grab an observer before the Immortal.
Yeah, it makes me wonder. The observer's where now on the minimap? I'm actually trying to find it.
I believe it's just flying across towards the third base right now.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
So maybe he wants to get a read here and say, okay, you've already got a little bit of an idea of what I'm doing. What are you going to do to me this time? And he can also take the observer with the Immortals and the Warp Prisms and start to shoot down creep or something like that.
That part is definitely very true. And that would be interesting. Normally, it's not like exactly what you end up doing with the Immortal Warp Prism. Getting damage onto units sometimes more valuable, but either way, he's got his gases as natural, adding those gates, getting more Immortals, definitely preparing for the push. Despite the Robo getting scouted that quickly. Impact's sitting here on 50 drones. His layer's going to finish. He really needs to be... Oh, the third Nexus comes up. Now, that does not mean that the all-in is off.
Yeah. So the Lings are going to come up here. It looks like they might be able to get the probe. No, they go ahead and back off. And here's that Immortal. 2 Immortals with the Warp Prism coming out.
Spire on the way as well as a drop Overlord. Again, I like these moves.
Yeah, very cool stuff. All right, anything he can take out as long as he doesn't lose the Warp Prism. Oh, great shot there. Takes the Observer out.
Definitely. Taking some damage on the Prism.
This is not doing the kind of damage I think Super hoped it would.
No.
Is there a chance that he's going to get totally blindsided by the Muta tech here?
He should be hitting before the Mutas, I think, because he's going to have 4 Immortals now. And he has, well, I guess he only has 4 gates, actually, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, I mean, also, I think the travel time is an issue here as well. It's not like his ground army's close to this.
So, yeah, you know what, you're right, especially if he can get rid of that hallucination. Now, obviously, if you scout the Spire, it changes things up. The Ling's coming in. Nice little Ling drop.
So he's going to come in here and just try to kill off some workers. Pretty quick reaction timing here. Oh, and I love this.
Really nice.
And so this pylon goes down. Good night. Oh, I said it too soon. Wait. 3, 2, 1. Good night. Okay. And that's annoying. The Robo and the 2 gates are not there. We have Flyer attack being upgraded as well.
Yeah, I love this too. Get up here, keep pressure on, and then switch into your Mutalisk.
Yeah. Because at this moment, you're thinking only Ling Roach Ravager, right? And then behind this, you're going to have this insane attack coming here.
I think that was a little bit of an overcommittal for this. Like, I like the push in, but he gets 12 probes as well.
Yeah, everything got shot down there, easy mode. Still making more roaches. Let's also point out Impact doesn't have a ton of gas banked up here, so you kind of... You know, if you have 1,000 gas, well, then that's 10 mutants. You can pop them out and kind of blindside the other player. But in this case, he's got like, nothing basically. So.
Well, at least the build fits together a little bit better here for Super. He's getting Blink, so that's going to be, I think, a little bit stronger for him, right? He's going to have a stronger ground army, especially after eliminating all those Ravagers. Oh my God!
He's eating those biles every time.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Gotta be careful. Meanwhile, this Ling counter attack is actually really paying for itself here.
It's doing some serious damage with these Lings. So much lost mining time, so many killed probes.
And now a counterattack across the map, but I don't think he can go through that area.
Hopefully
you can force field that for days.
Yeah. It's not a good area to attack through. We see that all too often.
Yeah. Even though a lot of pros try to do it. Again, no air units being made. 18 more Lings, 6 more Ravagers coming up here. Things getting a little bit messy on the map as the Zerg's army's not quite put together. Ooh, he's got to be careful. Loses that Overseer, so the Observer should be safe.
Oh my God!
What?
Pathing. That pathing.
Yeah.
He clicked up in front of his natural, I think, and half the army went the wrong way, and he loses it.
Yeah, the AI will prioritize whatever's the shortest path. It won't try to just keep the units together here.
Yeah.
So this is Act 2 of the Ling Roach Ravager attack over here.
Well, I don't know that he holds this one. He is eating vials here once again. Some of the Zealots getting on top of Ravagers, which is nice.
Yeah.
But the amount of vials that are hitting, the amount of morals he's already lost, there's no prism for juggling.
He's just not really microing enough here.
Yeah,
and these two Immortals are now going to go down.
Prism's over there.
Yep, that's it. GG. Impact will go up against Maru in our final match of the night.
Yeah, Super is not happy with that game. That was not his finest moment. The mispathing, the not bringing your Prism over as well. He ate a lot of vials on the attack and on the defense.
You know, man, I think Impact Super had a strong showing at the start, but I don't know if it was fatigue or what, but especially in that last game, it was just very sloppy by him,
well,
unfortunately.
He's one of these guys that has just come back. We got to give him some time. Next year, let's see how Super does.
We're going to a break. When we come back, the final match of the night to decide who moves on to the round of 16. It'll be Impact versus Maru. Do not go away.